Hello traders, what's up? So this is gonna be the trade recap for this past week, since from the 12th of September to 16th. So for this week, let me just show you what I prepared before the week. Actually had the bullish bias for the week, and these were the reasons. So I was expecting price to close bullish. So my idea was that price would close this FEG, this weekly FEG. So that was my idea initially. But everything happened in less than a day. Like before London closed, this idea was already fulfilled. So on the daily, I had the FEG, I had the order block right there. Let me go to the daily. This bullish candle that takes the liquidity from these highs and broke down. And then I have, yeah, and potentially I had this where price is reacting now. That's why I'm stuck in buys, where price came and went. And from the 4 hour, I wanted this to happen, and then we go here. But as I said, Monday opened and we went straight up, just straight up into that zone. And that was it. And I was expecting price to react from these zones. We are reacting from the first one. We broke a little bit, but still protecting that swing high or swing low. And then we have the extreme here for potential continuation of the bullish price action seen here after these top hands that happened here. So let me go to my chart where I execute trades. So this FXEM is the broker feed I use on TradingView. So I'm gonna show, I did the video in Portuguese and it was very long. So I'm gonna show all the trades here shown day by day, right? So, all right, cool. So Monday, grab the drawings. So I had a daily order block. If we go back here, this one, and within this supply zone, I had a refined M5, and you can go to the M5. I don't think I can go to the M5 because I don't have TradingView Premium. So, but you can go to the M5. Why don't you have TradingView Premium? Because it's too much information. Simplicity is all I need. When I have too many time frames, I mess up. So that's why I don't pay for TradingView. So here, right there above Asia, on this day, there is a M5 that stop hunts this high, and it's a very clear candle. So this day opened Monday, and my Q zone starts right here, right? And we also opened with a gap. So I was expecting price to close this gap. That's why I was trying to sell, right? And price just opened, like this is Frankfurt open, and it just went straight up. So I marked the daily order block, and I marked this refined zone. So it reacted from the refined zone, and as soon as it reacted, I didn't enter straight. I waited price to go back and respect. So after price went back, I had a zone on the 5 where I executed 3 trades. If you go to Instagram, link in the description, you will see I have 3 trades here. I stacked 3 trades, and that's the zone. So my first target was this resistance that could be retested here. So I closed 2 trades when it got here, or 1.5 of this move, the other one here, and the rest I let it run because I was trying to hedge from this zone. And this zone is a breaker block on the 15 minute. Why is this a breaker? Because it was an order block before it got disrespected. That's a stop hunt, that's a break. When it came back, it should respect. See here, it just broke it. Now it's a breaker. When price comes back, I'm expecting at least a reaction from this zone. What I did, I brought a fib here and I entered in the 50% of this zone right there. And it was a little hedge, right? So this was London kill zone. This is New York. There was nothing here for me to enter until price got to this zone. This is a reaction zone. So on the lower time frame, I create the swing low. That's a liquidity I need for price to react when it pushes down without breaking this, which is what I was expecting at the moment. A reaction from this, at least to be a very easy break and retest, and then fail. So I'm trading the reaction like a retail trader would do, a retail concept trader. I'm a retail trader as well, would do, and I'm executing just based on the reaction, right? I have liquidity supporting. It took, I bought, and I was just targeting 1 to 4. It got there. This hedge of this buy just came from that M15 zone, the body of that candle that broke all this, right? So price just came, put me in, and then broke me even. That was a trade on Monday. That was my Monday done. On Tuesday, let me bring my drawings. Monday, you can go. Tuesday, right? For Tuesday, there's a very easy setup here. If this happened within my kill zone, which starts here, I would have entered, but I didn't. And the only reason I didn't is because of time, because I have this planned every single day. And just move me to the other side. See this? That's my Asia inducement buy setup. I have Asia low, I have a POI below. That's a high risk entry, but that's an entry I hit almost every single week. Yeah, every other day, I would say. So I missed this. It was out of the kill zone, so I didn't execute. But then what did I see? I saw a stop hunt of Asia, a break of structure, and a break here. This break shows me realignment to be bullish, for price to be bullish. This bearishness is starting to finish here. I'm starting to see bullish order flow. Starts here, first break, respects, breaks again, minor structure here. So what happened? I talked a lot on the previous recap, a lot about the break and retest liquidity. This is what I'm talking about. The break, a retest, a continuation. Break, retest, continuation. What's this? Liquidity for what? For that POI. Then execute here. That's it. Very straightforward trade. Very straightforward trade. But before this happened, I have a little trade that I missed. I didn't show on the Portuguese recap. But let me go to the 15 so you can see it better. So this is a resistance I'm starting to use a lot, and it was taught by AKFX on his Telegram. If you guys follow him and you haven't understood, this is what he means. So a bullish candle followed by a bearish candle creates resistance. A bearish candle followed by a bullish candle creates support. And this is what he uses. So I entered one here, stop loss above, and it was a really good hedge because this gave me more confidence to enter this buy. When price came down, I executed this buy based on the break, retest, continuation, stop hunt of the retest, enter here TP above New York high of the previous day. That's it. And I had these marked, this mitigation block. And when price got here, I went to Instagram and I said, maybe a hedge for the people that were buying or continuation for more sellers. But see, price got here outside of kill zone. I didn't execute anything here. But then I was still carrying some of these trades to previous day high. So because of that, I hedged on this after a bearish candle on the 5 minute. So after the bearish candle on the 5 minute, I entered just to hedge because it was very close to TP. It was like, how many pips was? Around 10 pips for TP. So I just hedged. It was a 14 pip stop. And it ended up being the best trade of the day because there was news and I didn't know there was news because I never look at news, never. And it catches me by surprise most of the time, but yeah, I rarely remember to look at news. And when I came back to the chart, it was somewhere around, what is it? Come on. Somewhere around here. So I was expecting the gap to close. So after a while, I just TP'd on these days low. It was not the day low, but the New York low on that day. That's where I closed all of my position there. So this was Tuesday. So Monday done, Tuesday done. Yeah, let me go back to here. Let me hide Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So for Wednesday, I'm gonna show you what I use. So I use an H4 support the way AKFX teaches. So what do we have here? We have a bearish candle followed by a bullish candle and all that move up. What does this leave? A support. And this is what happened. Support, it tested, it came down. So when I woke up, I saw that we were still in this support zone. What I did, as I showed you, why didn't I enter on Tuesday? Just because of time. But again, the setup showed up. I have a POI below Asia right there. That's my risk entry. So I covered the body of this candle. It reacted. I entered after the reaction on the 5 minute. As soon as it closed, I hit buy stop loss below. And it went up. That was expecting price to take this high. This is where I closed partials and then the FVG on the 15-minute time frame. Right there. So I hedged here when we took this swing high. And if you see what this swing high is a break and retest liquidity. So I was expecting a reaction from there. Support, break, resistance, continuation. Sellers are still in that area, probably holding stop losses. When we took it, there's an instant reaction. And then the 1 minute, this is what I did. Just a simple push down right here. Created the FVG, I entered in the FVG on the way back. Right there. I don't like this type of entry, but sometimes I have to, especially with hedges. This wouldn't be my first entries, but if I'm hedging, if I'm already on a buy, I'm gonna enter this type of trades. I have liquidity confirming that price could go the other way, and that's why I enter this type of trades. And I was targeting a break and retest liquidity. As you see, resistance, break, support, continuation, but it couldn't get there. So when we go to the 15 minute, that's the 15-minute FVG, we got there. Here now I have to wait for realignment, right? So what happened? I have a swing low that I need to see break for order flow realignment. So when price breaks, I have this break and retest here. So my entry was just above that level. Let me move this to the side so you can see. See this break of support, turn resistance, continuation, stop hunt, continuation down. And I believe that was my last trade for Wednesday. So you see this? I was targeting same place, the break and retest on the 1 minute. That's it. And this is done. All right. And maybe here there was continuations on the 5. Let me show you. But it's not that clean. But you see, this is a swing high. It gets broken, gets retested here. Maybe if you had a POI. But to me, I was expecting this to go. So maybe somewhere around there. On lower time frames, there might be a clean POI to take that buy. But I didn't take it. All right. So Wednesday is done. So let's go to Tuesday. Oh, Thursday, sorry. Let me hide Wednesday. Let me go to Thursday. So for Thursday, what do I have? Usually here, we were still on that 4-hour support zone. This is not a zone to sell. I don't care what you think, but I'm not selling low. I'm not selling low. So here, I'd much rather get a loss for trying to buy than selling in this zone. For real, this is how I think. So the only risk on this trade was that it was very close to the previous day low. But there was this swing low that was London low on the previous day that was taken. So that's my previous session low, a previous session low. Like in this case, it was London. It was taken. Kill zone opens, Frankfurt pushes down. At this point, I'm on the 1 minute. Because I want to see some swing high broken just to confirm order flow change. And there I have my swing high, not swing low. In this case, I'm trying to buy, I'm expecting a swing high to go. If I'm trying to sell, I'm expecting a swing low to go. In this case, I have Frankfurt opening and stop hunting all this. And we are still on that zone. We take London low of the previous day. We push higher, we take a swing low. We even take that one too. We create all this, and I went back to the 5 minute and I waited for a reaction on the 5 minutes after these lows were taken. It got taken. After this closed, I entered on the next candle. This one, stop loss below that zone. TP Asia high. So it's pretty close to this setup, the high risk one, but I waited just for a little confirmation on the 1 minute. But it's very close. It's still risky because there is no shift on the higher time frames. The only shift was on the 1 minute. So yeah, this was a very simple trade. I would say very, very simple trade. Then I had the M15 here. As I said, I tend to close 80% at around my TP zone, 90%. I always leave a runner just to take the trade in the opposite direction if I'm expecting that. And so kill zone was done, price got here, but it was outside of the kill zone, so I waited. This area was created, kill zone opened here, price, it was a sort of break and retest. That's why I was trying to this support resistance. It didn't retest it actually, but I was trying to get a sell from this zone, and I was looking at this as a possible break and retest setup. So price, so kill zone starts here, price pushes higher, gets to this order block right there, and I found a confirmation entry on the 1 minute, and it didn't work. So I got stopped at break even. There was news on this day. So we got to the zone, stop hunt, break. What is this? Support, turns resistance, continuation. That's liquidity, and I entered on the extreme. That beautiful candle that took the liquidity. Right there, I was trying to get the low of the kill zone because price was just pushing higher as it opened. There is a little down move before the up move, but I didn't see anything to buy here. Maybe there was liquidity here and I could have hedged, but there was news. So I got stopped at break even here, and then I entered a risky trade just based on this run of liquidity and that 15-minute POI right there. A tip stop that was trying to target the same low I was trying to target here. I always do that. I don't know why. But I closed partials at 1 to 4, somewhere on that FVG on the 1 hour. And then, yeah, the rest was stopped at break even right there. And it eventually went down, but this is outside of zones. So my kill zone ends here. Whatever happens here, I'm not interested, even if it's clear. So this is Thursday, and lastly, Friday. Remember, this was risky because it was very close to this day's low. But then what happens? This creates relative equal lows here. So if I have a reason to sell from here somewhere, I'm targeting these lows because it's low resistance liquidity. So what happened on Friday? I woke up, let me take Thursday off just so it's clear. What is Thursday? Right here, Friday, right here. So that's a very simple break and retest again. Let me show you what I saw. So Asia, push high, runs this high's liquidity, respect some extreme. I'm seeing this, but I'm also seeing that this is low resistance liquidity for later. But because of this, I was trying to see if we could go to previous days lows and then buy and take all this. That was my idea for Friday. And what I saw was this: a break, a retest, a pin bar, a rejection, retail. That's their sell all day long. What am I entering above the liquidity? So I'm waiting on that liquidity to go, and I'm hitting buy or sell in this case on that candle. So I rejected a little bit and then I enter. I always market execute. I Not always, but 95% of my trades I execute them. I don't like pending orders. Sometimes it's a better price that I get in. Sometimes it's the worst price, but that's the trade-off you need to have sometimes. And that was a very simple trade. It was just take that break and retest liquidity, reject, drop, take these lows. And then for the buy, there was a POI down here that I didn't see. Otherwise, my trade would have been immediately like this. That's why you see me entering like this. But I didn't see the POI, but the POI was pretty good. So I always look for POIs above and below liquidity. That's where I get my trades from most of the time. So what happened here? There is a stop hunt, a break, you have imbalance, you have a beautiful candle here. And that could be your POI. So what happened? I didn't get on the reaction because I didn't see the POI until a follower on Instagram showed me the POI, and he was trying to get a confirmation entry. So I saw the FEG, which shows me that there was displacement from this zone, as ICT explained very well. So I didn't enter on the FEG, I entered on the close of 100% of it. So initially I was targeting London high, but potentially I thought that previous day high should go. We took previous day's low, now we are going to the other side. So sell side is gone, let's go to buy side. But I closed my trade at Asia high, I'll explain later how I did it. So as this was developing, if you go to the 15-minute, what do we see here? We see a very good zone here, support, resistance, rejection, selling going on. That's liquidity for me. So when price went up, created that retest on the 15-minute discontinuation, I'm interested in this zone, the liquidity above this high to potentially sell at this zone. But because I wasn't a buy, I didn't wait for price to get there. If the objective to take this move higher is to take liquidity, they won't get to your POI just because you think that's the POI they should go to. If the objective was to take this liquidity, they're going to drop from whatever they want, right? So, and this is what happened. So this is running low. Let me finish this video. So all I did was wait for that rejection and enter there and target this low. That was a hedge. I call that a hedge. I had two trades here. A hedge. One was on the FVG on the 1 minute. You will see. You can go to 1 minute and you will see. So I took profits here. I let some run and I bought again. See this? It's a beautiful candle again. That's the candle that sponsored that move higher, and I executed my last trade of the week here. And I was targeting that high again. So I took my profits from this one here and this lower one I took at Asia high, but I didn't expect at all this PDH to hold. But I just closed here for safety. I don't want price to nearly take it and then I lose all the profit I have made up to there. So I just closed there and that was my week. So I hope it's clear. I hope it helps you in some way to see the market, how I see it. You can see that I use liquidity a lot. I use time of the day a lot. For example, here, I thought that was the London low because I have these notes here that show me from my back test that a high or low of the day during London are usually created from 2 to 2:30 to 4 a.m. New York time. And for New York, it's 8:30 to 10. So if I see a really good reason for a low to hold during a certain session, and I look at these times and it confirms, so I'm calling that the low or high of the day. So I called it the low of the day. That's why I stacked more buys here, and I was expecting this bullish run, and it ended up happening. Another great week. So this is the recap. I hope it helps you in some way. Comment if you have any questions. like if you liked it, dislike if you didn't like it, and subscribe if you think this content will help you in the future. I'll keep doing this every single week. Um, yeah, God willing, but this is my plan. So, anyway, take care, and I'll see you in the next recap.